Greetings dear aspirants, welcome to today's current affairs session of Civilspedia. Today we'll be discussing about the Igla S missile systems, about the global terrorism index and about the global compact and about the major inland waterways of India under a prelims topic and about the gas-based economy to achieve energy justice and climate justice under a mains topic. So let's move on to our first prelims topic, the Igla S missile system. So when you're studying about missiles, please have these keywords in mind. About the type of the missile, what is the launch mode from surface, or air or water to which target, and what is the range, if it is a short range, medium range or a long range missile, and what is the propulsion, basically the type of engine based on the fuel, solid fuel, liquid fuel, your cryojets or ramjets, etc. and the warheads, especially either it's a conventional warhead or the nuclear warhead, and the type of guidance system, it can be a laser pointed system, etc. So let's move on to our Igla S missile type. So it has been in recent news because this is a Russian based missile system. So India is planning to purchase this latest version of Igla S missile system. If you see, there are three versions of Igla: Igla E, Igla and Igla S. So India is already in possession of Igla missile system. Now it's planning to purchase the latest version of the Igla S missile system. So if you see the type of this missile system, it is basically a man-portable air defense system, which means those people at the war front can handle it by themselves. And the launch mode, it is a surface to air missile. So it will target all those targets in the air from the surface. And the range, if you see, it is a very short range missile with a range of 6 km. And propulsion is a solid fuel rocket motor. And if you see, it carries a conventional warhead only. And the guidance system, if you see, it is an infrared guidance system. So basically, the targets will be identified with the help of infrared sensors. So there was a prelims question in 2018 regarding the THAAD missile system, which was an American anti-missile system. So you can expect question on these lines regarding the Igla S missile system. So please have only these keywords in mind with regards to prelims point of view. Don't study any other extra data with respect to missiles. So let's move on to our next topic, Global Terrorism Index. So the recent Global Terrorism Index for 2018 has been released by the Institute of Economics and Peace. So this particular institute also releases the Global Peace Index. Please have this in mind with regards to prelims point of view. So something about the Global Terrorism Index. So it ranks the countries of the world based on the incidences of the terrorism or the terrorism activity for that particular year. So this database, the Global Terrorism Database, is maintained by the National Consortium for the Study of Terrorism and the Responses to Terrorism under the University of Maryland, USA. So this is all about the Global Terrorism Database. If you see for the year 2018, India has been ranked as 7th. So it is the one of the worst countries affected by terrorism under the 10 most countries impacted by the terrorism. So this index score is based on the amount of deaths or injuries or the number of incidents for that particular year. So India has this many amount of deaths, injuries and incidents. And if you see the major groups that leads to terrorism are the Communist Party of India, the Maoists, which is nothing but the left-wing extremism in India, and Lakshari Taiba and militants such as Jaish-e-Mohammed in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, etc. So on the Pakistan front, we have some terrorists. So terrorists such as Lakshari Taiba account for 10% of the global terrorism deaths for this particular year 2017. And if you see, India largely suffers from the internal conflicts such as the left-wing extremism or the northeast extremism, etc. So we have discussed at large about the extremism topic under our internal conflicts topic in our previous Civilspedia class. So let's not discuss much on that. And if you see attack by property, it is equally distributed. So police and military, your private citizens and property, government, business and others are equally affected because of this terrorism. So this is all you need to keep it in mind with respect to the Global Terrorism Index, especially for India. If you see, terrorism on a whole in the year 2017 has largely been reduced in overall, but the numbers are significantly higher when you compare the numbers with the past decade. that is from 2002 onwards. So in continuation with this global terrorism index, you need to know some conventions that are which are present at the United Nations organization. So the recent current affairs with respect to this terrorism is the Global Compact. Before studying about Global Compact, let us know the UN Global Counter-Terrorism Strategy, which was introduced in the year 2006. So there are 4 pillars under this global counter-terrorism strategy. Let us not discuss much into those 4 pillars. You can have a look at it. But under this particular strategy, in order to work with this particular strategy, there were 2 heads which were created. One is the Counter-Terrorism Implementation Task Force with the help of entities of the UN. Entities in the sense, the different organizations of UN, they have come up together to form this implementation task force in order to help the member nations of the United Nations. And next thing is the UN Counter-Terrorism Center, which was established in the year 2001, led by Saudi Arabia. So these 2 centers were under the Department of Political Affairs under the Secretariat of the United Nations. Now both these heads have been restructured, and a new United Nations Office for Counter-Terrorism has been formed in the year 2017 in the month of June. So this Counter-Terrorism Implementation Task Force has been restructured as the Global Compact, and this UN Counter-Terrorism, it still exists as such, and it has been put up under the United Nations Office on Counter-Terrorism. So let's see what is the Global Compact. So Global Compact is also called as United Nations Global Counter-Terrorism Coordination Compact. So have this in mind. So we saw this Counter-Terrorism Implementation Task Force here. So this task force plus Interpol plus the World Customs Organizations have been restructured, and they have come up with a framework agreed with the Secretary General of the United Nations in order to form this Global Compact. So this is all about the Global Compact. And Global Compact was recently in news because the first meeting of the Global Compact was held on 6th of December. So this is the recent current affairs. Additionally, there are also some conventions on terrorism, but as such, there is no comprehensive convention on the international terrorism present within the United Nations. India has been pushing for a comprehensive convention on international terrorism since 1996. It has been 2 decades, but nothing much has moved because all the member nations are in a deadlock because a definition for terrorism has not yet been derived. But there are some little conventions for terrorism. Example, the International Conventions for the Suppression of Terrorist Bombings, which was signed in the year 1997, Financing for Terrorism in the year 1999, and conventions for the suppression of acts of nuclear terrorism, which was signed in the year 2005. So as such, there is no comprehensive convention against international terrorism. So this is all you need to know about the Global Compact and the conventions related to terrorism, which have been signed by the member nations in the United Nations organization. So let's move on to our next topic, the major inland waterways of India. So the recent current affairs is that the second set of goods has been dispatched from the Kolkata port to be dropped at the Patna inland waterway. So with regards to this, just know what are the major inland waterways of India, the river systems through which it flow, and also the states through which it flow, because you can expect some match the following types with regards to the major inland waterways of India. So these are some of the major inland waterways of India. First is the National Waterway 1, which includes the Ganga, Bhagirathi and the Hooghly river systems. So the stretches from the Haldia in West Bengal to Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh. And next is the National Waterway 2 in Brahmaputra river from Dhubri to Sadia in Assam. And next is the National Waterway 3, the West Coast Canal, which is located in the state of Kerala. And fourth is the National Waterway number 4 in Krishna river in the state of Andhra Pradesh from Vijayawada to Muktiala, almost close to the border of Telangana. Next is the National Waterway number 97, which is the Sundarban Waterways in the state of West Bengal. And finally, the National Waterway number 100 in the Tapi river in the state of Gujarat. So all these major inland waterways are operational for navigation or transportation purposes for goods. So these are the major inland waterways which you need to keep it in mind. There are also some minor inland waterways which are again operational for navigation and transportation purposes. Just have a look at this because this is not really important for exam point of view, but just have an idea about the major inland waterways. But this is also the map for the major inland waterways. If you see the Brahmaputra river system, the Ganga, Hooghly and the Bhagirathi river system, the Krishna river system, the West Coast Canal, the Tapi river and the Sundarbans for your view. So let's move on to our main topic, moving to a gas-based economy to achieve energy justice and climate justice. Now, energy is a key driver for economic growth. So the government's focus is to bring transformational changes in the energy sector with the twin objectives of energy justice and climate justice. So energy justice is equitable and affordable energy. Equitable and affordable energy access to all, irrespective of the sections, may it be poor section, the middle class section or the upper class. So it has to be equitable and affordable for all. So energy justice aims at that, and climate justice aims at having a proper energy systems in place without affecting the overall environment, which means the alternative forms of energy. So the present government under the leadership of Narendra Modi has stressed on 4 energy pillars, which is their energy vision. So focus on energy access, energy efficiency, energy sustainability and energy security. In order to achieve this, one way through which the government is moving is, or the focusing is to move towards a gas-based economy. So we have our COP21, the Paris Climate Agreement, where India made one of its voluntary commitment to reduce the emission intensity of GDP by 33% by 2030 compared to the 2005 levels. So moving to gas-based economy is one such possible solution in order to achieve this COP21 targets. On the other side, we are also having a renewable energy systems in place. In addition, moving to a gas-based economy in the short term will also help us to meet the COP21 targets. So there are some government initiatives done to move in order to move towards a gas-based economy. So some government initiatives have been jotted down here. So first is the city gas distribution networks. It was discussed in one of our current affairs class under the prelims topic. City gas distribution networks, and please have a look at it. Second thing is the Pradhan Mantri Urja Ganga project. In order to provide gas pipelines from Odisha to Uttar Pradesh, and subsequently it will be covered to Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, etc. So 2 pipelines are in the process. So first is the Jagdishpur Haldia pipeline. It is in UP, Jagdishpur and Haldia and West Bengal. So next is the Bokaro to Dhamra pipeline. Bokaro is in Jharkhand and Dhamra is in Odisha. Next is the construction of new LNG terminals in progress. One is at the Ennur seaport, near the Ennur seaport in the state of Tamil Nadu. Next is the Dhamra near in Odisha. And the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. So it aims to provide universal LPG coverage to overall India. So the coverage has increased from 90% from 55% in 2014. So it basically provides health and environment benefits to all those communities and the economic empowerment to those communities which gets these LPG cylinders. And next government initiative is the Indradhanush Gas Grid Limited in order to connect the northeastern states with the help of the gas pipeline. And next is the sustainable alternative towards affordable transportation in order to set up some 5,000 bio-CNG plants in the next 5 years. So the farmers will turn their agricultural waste into this bio-CNG gas. So this bio-CNG gas or the biogas can be used as an additive in the regular fuel. And ethanol fuel. With regards to ethanol fuel, increase in ethanol procurement price in order to support the sugarcane farmers, and 12 biorefineries construction is also under progress in order to produce second generation ethanol. And India is also a leapfrog from the BS4 standards to the BS6 standards, which will be implemented starting 2020. And if you see, the BS6 fuels are already in place in the state of Delhi in order to combat the pollution. So these are some of the government initiatives in order to move towards the gas-based economy. And if you see, there are only 3 types of gases: the CNG gas, compressed natural gas, and LPG gas, a liquefied petroleum gas, or the piped natural gas. So this is also called LNG, the liquid natural gas. So these are the 3 types of gases that you need to know. So this was also discussed in one of our previous classes. And next thing is 3 different types of processing of the gas. So first is the hydrocarbons. So gas is derived from hydrocarbons. This is the upstream. And you have middle stream, plus the downstream. So this is the sourcing of hydrocarbons, this is the processing of hydrocarbons, and this is the supply or the retail of this hydrocarbons. It can be petrol, oil, or gas. In this case, it is gas. So government has taken some initiatives towards the upstream sector, which is nothing but the sourcing of hydrocarbons. If you see in the recent Putin visit, the Russian premier visit to India, India stressed on to develop the oil and gas projects in Russia's Arctic shelf, which is rich in hydrocarbon resources, and also in the Pechora and Okhotsk seas, and opening the entire sedimentary basins in India, in all the rivers of India, with the help of investors, with the help of open acreage licensing. And a centralized national data repository has been set up in order to get this exploration and the production data of these hydrocarbons. And complete marketing and pricing freedom has been given to gas producers under 3 different regimes. First is the HELP, nothing but the hydrocarbon exploration licensing policy regime, and the discovered small fields regime, DSF, and CBM, nothing but the coal bed methane regime. And higher price ceiling has been set up for production of your high pressure, high temperature fuel, deep water and ultra deep water fields from which the hydrocarbons are being sourced. So these are some of the government initiatives taken in the upstream sector of the hydrocarbons by the government of India. And there are also some future plans by the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. First is to set up a gas trading hub in order to develop own hub based pricing. So India will be a hub and it will have its own pricing, and India will also start supplying from India to the other countries instead of depending on the gas rich nations. And in the coming decade, around 300 billion US dollars have been planned to be invested. And third thing is the Asia's biggest oil refinery come the petrochemical complex is being set up under Maharashtra with the help of the Saudi Arabian refinery companies such as Aramco and ADNOC. So these are some of the future plans by the government of India towards in order to move towards a gas-based economy. So this is all about our main topic today. With this, we are winding up our today's discussion. Please do like, comment and share the video, and please subscribe for Shankar IAS Academy channel for latest videos and updates. Stay focused and motivated, friends. Thank you.